My name is Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi, and I'm running for school board president. I'm a Swiss educational reformer, and I advocate for education of the poor. My teaching methods emphasized strengthening the student's own abilities, and I feel I am the best candidate for this position. I am considered the father of modern education. My upbringing was overly protected and isolated. I also came from a very poor family. I feel that the way that I was brought up and the situation that I was in left me socially inept and physically uncoordinated as an adult. So I've worked hard to create a type of education that prepares students to be adults and to excel as adults because of the emotionally secure learning environment that they were given as children. Some things I'd like to touch on, highlights about me. I had a school in Neuhoff, which was a school that I formed that would be learning simultaneous instruction, which is a group method teaching of reading, writing, and arithmetic. So I'm a very efficient man, which is another reason why I'm best for this position. And that was 50 students receiving that simultaneous instruction all at once. Some of my works include Leonard and Gertrude and how Gertrude teaches her children, which how Gertrude teaches her children contains the main principles of intellectual education, and it touches on a child's innate learnings, which should be evolved. They should learn how to think, proceeding gradually from observation, then to comprehension, to the formation of clear ideas. I directed an orphanage, and I was, like I mentioned, incredibly focused on providing a setting that was emotionally secure for those children because of what I had experienced as a child. Something else I've done is I've had a residential and teacher training school. I believe strongly in professional development, and I took what I've learned over all these years and taught this to educators, to teachers. My form of teaching, who I am and what I do is Pestalozzianism. As you can see, I've included some photos of me with the children. And if you can tell anything from these photos, it's not like a regular classroom. It's not a teacher standing at the top of the class lecturing to children of different ages and different abilities, but it's hands-on learning. It's learning with the children. It's learning as a group. It's collaborative thinking. So something that I stress is child-centered learning. Learning is not about the teacher. It is not about what the teacher can do and the abilities of the teacher and how great the teacher is, but it should be about how great the children are and how their education is being formed, not how the lessons are being formed. I believe strongly in harmonious moral, physical, and educational development. I'm kind of the beginnings of Maslow's hierarchy. I am aligned in the fact that children are not able to learn if their needs are not being met, their emotional needs, their physical needs, their safety. Those needs must be met before they can sit down and start to learn. Sensory learning and object lessons is something that I've coined. Object lesson, an example of that would be children examining minerals and plants. So seeing something with their senses, feeling it, looking at it, observing it, sensory learning. And object lessons would just be hands-on various objects, and that can be spread across many different subjects and curriculums. Lastly, I believe strongly in a cooperation and collaboration between home and school. So parents and teachers should be working together with the child's best interest in mind. And that's something that I will make sure is happening as school board president. Pestalozzianism, like I mentioned before, is my way of teaching. It's everything that I believe in, everything that I do. So natural education is something that I practice in my classroom and in my teaching, which is using our senses to explore the environment. The learning should not only happen in the classroom, but should branch out into our surroundings and into our world. I oppose traditional use of verbalism and formalism. Pestalozzianism has been carried through Europe and America, and it has influenced others such as Montessori and Froebel, who was the founder of kindergarten. General and special methods is something that falls under Pestalozzianism. General methods are creating an emotionally secure learning environment, and special methods are sensory learning, with an emphasis on that. My big to-do as school board president is to promote active learning. Students should be a part of the learning process, regardless of age and subject. They should be out there in nature. They should be outside of the classroom, collaborating, working together. Active learning is very important. Professional development in head, heart, and hands. Like I said, I kind of have the beginnings of Maslow's hierarchy, so catering to the whole child. The head, heart, and the hands is something that I've coined as Pestalozzianism, focusing on their head, so their morals, their, what they know, what they can apply, what they've learned. Their heart, so their emotional well-being, and their hands, hands-on learning, exploring our world, experiencing things. I'm a big advocate for counselor and therapist accessibility. I've talked a lot about emotions and students, feeling secure. So obviously, I want to be sure that there are well-equipped counselors and therapists in our child's school. And like I said, I believe strongly that it takes a village. So I want to work with all of you and with all of your students and be the best that we can be. Finally, why me? I've done it all. I've run an orphanage. I've written works that are well known and read to this day, such as How Gertrude Teaches Her Children. I have cared for students in the classroom. I've studied students. I've been sure that this Pestalozzianism method is effective and efficient. Something else, I happen to know that there's some other candidates, and I just want to mention that Froebel actually attended my residential teacher training school, so just to keep in mind, everything that he knows, he learned from me, so I don't know why, he would be the best candidate when I, actually am the mentor in that position. And then also Benjamin Rush, he's the father of American psychiatry, which that's really great and impressive. I just don't really know how it's relevant to this position. So just something to keep in mind. And I've included this glamour shot of me with my star sunglasses because I can't see the hate. I can only see the love. A crown because I won, and a ribbon because I'm number one. So thank you so much for listening to this presentation and to learning a little bit about me. I hope that you'll vote for me. That is Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi. Thank you.